In a dystopic and crime-ridden Detroit, a terminally wounded cop returns to the force as a powerful cyborg, haunted by submerged memories. Boys and girls, etc. This week, say hello to my little film, Robocop.
Okay. Do you want to play rough? Okay. No. Say hello to my little
Film.
Episode 3.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello and welcome back. If you've made it this far,
Yeah.
you're true fans.
Or if you're just tuning in for the first time.
Then welcome to Say Hello to My Whittle Film, my itty bitty whittle film.
Whittle film.
This is the podcast where we discuss movies that are culturally relevant that we haven't seen.
I summed it up really well yesterday.
Oh, do you remember what you said?
No, you don't?
No, I don't even remember. Like 5 minutes ago. It was, I mean,
come back to me.
We wanted to clarify that it's movies that get referenced in other pop culture things.
This is the podcast where we watch the movies that people say you have to see.
That's right.
Boom.
There you go.
Right?
That's what we need to say every time this starts.
Yeah. Welcome to my little film.
My little film is what the name of the podcast is. Welcome to my little film.
Oh, that's funny.
What a terrible name that would be.
My little film.
We had such a time trying to come up with the name for this. We wanted it to be funny. Mm-hmm. You know, like the current name of it is just a laugh riot.
Oh, it's hilarious.
I don't know. We went through a whole thing. But there's also a lot of podcasts that nobody should listen to with, I guess, similar ideas that have all the names that we wanted.
Yeah.
But don't go look
them
them
up. I thought of it first. With way better names.
My name's Ariel, speaking of names.
Oh, and my name is Ryan.
And we, I guess, wanted to have a bit more of an intro than we did on our last episode because we're just still trying to figure this out and like how we want it to be. And we also didn't expect as much support as we got.
Way more people are enthusiastic about this podcast than I expected.
Which is so awesome, and we are really excited about that, but also debilitatingly nervous.
Oh yeah, now I'm really like, what have I said?
Oh, this is a real thing that we published into the world.
Right.
Okay.
So now I'm like, do I have to watch my mouth a little bit more? Hi, Mom.
Hey, oh yeah, so Ryan's mom listens.
Yeah, I think we were talking about 2 dicks in a person's mouth.
We were like, well, we told her it was explicit.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wanted to tell my family so they could tell people, but then I don't want my family to know I talk this way.
Right.
So, no for now. But anyway, so we are a married couple.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah, we wanted to, I guess, start this off
Who are
properly.
we?
We didn't really have an intro episode.
Right.
So.
Why should you care who we are? The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, you shouldn't. But here we are.
We're a couple of nobodies.
That's right. And we're just from the South, and we're in our late 20s. And
we're a married couple who are high school sweethearts.
We are. We have one baby.
He's the absolute light of my life.
He's a sunshine blob.
Oh my God.
And he's about 4 months old.
Beautiful baby boy.
I think that's the only thing interesting about us, so...
Yeah, that thing that most people do, that we have a kid.
Pretty basic family situation.
Okay.
Meh, whatever. So I guess that's a better intro. Now that you know exactly who we are.
Right.
There also were a couple things I wanted to address from the last episode. I said Sebastian Bach.
Yeah, which you weren't wrong.
I mean.
You just didn't say Johann.
Yeah. I meant Johann
Sebastian
Bach, like the composer. I didn't mean like the 80s hair metal person who's also in Gilmore Girls. That's not...
I forget he's in that.
Yeah. That is not who I meant, although that would be funny if Christian Slater's character was a fan of
Sebastian
that person.
Bach. Yeah, the dude from he was relevant. I think when that movie was going out.
88, I think.
What is that, Skid Row? Is his band, I think?
I don't know. I don't know. All I know is this is Spinal Tap.
Irrelevant.
Okay. And then also, pate is not Spanish.
Right.
I think I looked it up and it was like it originated in Belgium, but it spans across many cultures and it is not just a Spanish dish. I was just incorrect about that.
All things. Oh, I did. I actually got a someone did contact me and let me know. We brought up an Uma Thurman movie for a split second. I don't know why we brought it up, but where she's a superhero who threw a shark at somebody.
Yeah.
And I got a correction saying it was Owen Wilson.
That's right.
She threw a shark at.
Who gave you that correction there, babe?
It was your brother. And he said
brother.
Owen Wilson. I just got a text randomly. Owen Wilson. She threw a shark at Owen Wilson. Mm-hmm. And I was like,
oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And then I looked it up, and I got a correction for you, pal. It was Luke Wilson.
That's right. It's the wrong Wilson.
Interestingly, wrong Wilson. Just another case of wrong Wilson.
Interestingly, Rainn Wilson is also in that movie.
And the volleyball.
Wilson.
Yeah.
So if you ever find that we're just completely wrong about something, or even just a little bit wrong about something, feel free to text us if you know us, and if you don't,
no, don't
email.
text. No, I don't want texts.
What, like ever?
Correcting my podcast. No,
I'm fine with it.
All right, it's gonna happen.
You can also email us. Say hello to my little film at gmail.com.
That's right. Don't forget that.
That's right. And we may or may not put that in our show notes.
Yeah.
We got to figure out how to do show notes, I guess.
We need to also I would like to maybe somehow incorporate like people submitting stuff to the email.
You mean like suggestions?
Yeah. So we could maybe maybe like read, or someone else's like thought of a movie. Mm-hmm. So we also started an Instagram account.
That's right, and it's just called "Say Hello to My Little Film."
Yeah.
So if you want to follow it, then it will announce whatever movie we're doing next.
Yes.
So if you want to watch it, that way you know what we're talking about a little bit.
And then maybe someone could submit their thoughts to us, and we could include that. We could try to include like a third person.
Yeah.
Maybe at the end.
We can be like, so this comment on Instagram says, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like we could look through, maybe someone else notices something that we missed. It's just an idea to make it more interactive.
there's only 9 followers right now, so.
Dude.
Maybe not yet, but hey, maybe one day.
Those are all 9 geniuses, though.
That's right.
With a keen eye for film.
Those followers are the real MVP of this whole situation.
That's right. Okay.
So, intro completed. Oh, how was your week, babe?
I'm trying to think if anything interesting did happen to me this
Wolfgang
week.
has started grabbing everything, which has been really fun because it's like he's been doing that for a while, but now he's super accurate.
Wolfgang is our son.
That's right.
Okay.
Not a composer.
Yeah.
There's a lot of confusion happening right now.
Yeah.
That's right. And he's just...
Little baby Wolfgang.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's so cute. He's been really cute this
week.
He's
been really going to town on my beard. Mm-hmm. So...
And anybody's face. He'll turn to look at you and grab your cheeks.
Film. Hey guys, Ryan here. I was listening to our recording, and there's a bit of an audio glitch that happens here, but you don't really miss anything great. Me and Ariel talk about toilet seats and Jim Jeffries. So when we come back, I think the audio glitch ends with Ariel saying something like, let's not talk about Jim Jeffries, let's talk about Robocop. So I had to cut this section out. Bye. Film.
Well, let's not talk about Jim Jeffries because we do have something cool to talk about.
And what is that?
Robocop.
Robocop.
So I had never seen this movie, any of them. Apparently there's like 17.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of them. This is something that we think happens, or gets referenced a lot in like movies and shows that are currently
I hear
coming
people
out.
say Robocop all the time. He's iconic. It was remade in 2014?
2014.
Yeah, so
yeah. I almost brought up that description too so we could compare the two. Which I think we should do later because it's a lot different.
I tried to watch that new one and it's not good.
Not good.
Yeah. But the fact that it was remade kind of proves the rule that this was a culturally relevant movie that people
that I missed
cared
out
about.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. So when had you seen it then?
I saw it, I think it was like back in the day. I was a young lad, and it was like it would play on like the HBO channel.
Oh, wow. Cable days.
Yeah, cable days.
Okay.
And I remember being kind of scared of this movie.
Really?
Yes.
There were parts that I guess you could say were intended to be graphic.
And God, it worked, man. It really, it traumatized me a little bit.
Watching it at my age, it was hilarious. I wonder, do you think, was this movie trying to be funny sometimes?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's got a Starship Troopers vibe.
Yeah.
Where they kind of they are like
every
making
once
fun
in a
of
while,
like,
there's a
the
little
media
thing.
and stuff. Mm-hmm. And there's like little commercials that play. It's really funny.
The commercials are really funny.
I love it.
So, what did I think of this movie?
Yeah. So I had seen it before. You had never seen it.
Right.
And you, I think, were kind of more in the dark than most people about this movie.
I literally have one here. Is this a mix between Roomba and the Terminator?
That's what your preconceived notion was?
Preconceived notion.
Wait, so you thought it was a mix between the Roomba vacuum cleaner
Yes, like a little guy.
and the Terminator.
Yeah, because I remember
So
seeing
it was
like
a mix
man.
between a robot and a robot?
Yeah, I guess.
What does that mean?
Like I didn't know this was Cyborg at all. At all.
you
Like
didn't
I
know there was any
literally
human
thought
element.
I thought it was like iRobot. Like they just are building robot cops.
Oh, that's what makes Robocop such an interesting thing.
Way more interesting.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what is this going to be about?
He struggles with his humanity.
Reason, I thought there was going to be like a short, small one.
Why?
I don't know. I
You
don't
thought
know
there
where
would
I
be
got
like a
that.
mini-me version of Robocop?
Not like a human. Like I thought he would look like Wall-E.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I
You know
really
what?
did.
I wonder if in the later movies they introduce like some sort of sidekick.
Like Scrappy Doo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe, but then
Could
when they introduced that one, the like first model, that corporation, and he is called Ed 209.
Ed 209, yeah.
I thought he would look like that, but just small. So at least the model, I kind of in some way had correct.
Okay.
I said, is this like a good cop gone bad?
These are your preconceived
These
notions.
are still
Okay.
preconceived notions. Is this like a good cop gone bad? Does he get turned evil? Is he evil? For some reason, I thought he was like kind of evil. I think I was mixing it up with the Terminator. Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
And then I said that I kind of was worried that all references that have been made to Robocop have just gone over my head, and maybe I just never picked up on what they were.
Well, I don't think there's that many like lines that
No,
are
there's
quotable.
no iconic lines.
No, but he
Well, I guess
himself,
there's one, but I'll address that when it comes up.
he himself is an iconic image, and
Mm-hmm.
like it's been parodied like in Family Guy. I know the where he gets shot a bunch of times.
Oh my god,
That's been that was on Family Guy.
that happens so many times in this movie.
This his name is Murphy.
Yeah,
Takes a lot of bullets in this movie.
not just him, but like anyone who gets shot.
God,
gets
they get
shot like 12
The
times.
Squib team. You
I'm
remember?
sorry, what's Squib?
Squib is the packets that they use in movies that
yeah.
make it look like
Oh
you
my
get
God.
shot
Yeah,
that
they
explode with blood.
We're like working overtime.
Oh my god.
They had job security.
So so your preconceived notions are hilarious. Is that all of them?
Also, I put it up here in this section of my notes, but I don't know if I realized this after the movie had started. The time period. When does this movie take place?
Yeah, because it's like futuristic technology.
I mean, I guess if you call Robocop futuristic, there's a lot of futuristic
Super
stuff.
futuristic.
Because they also talk about like when it shows the commercial for the heart
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah,
it's
they
like
have organs. Yeah, they have the Yamaha Sport Heart.
that you can finance.
So the very intro of the movie is a news team with the crazy. It's like it splits into a 16 grid, like 16 square grid, and it's
So creepy.
so creepy because it just zooms in on the news
Their
anchor's
face-
eyes.
Yes, and it's just two of them.
Yeah.
And it's just
so it's just
pattern,
repeat
like a
guys,
checkerboard.
Guys' eyes, girls' eyes, guys' eyes, girls' eyes.
It's got like a Hunger Games-y feel. The media
Yeah.
does.
And they're reporting on some kind of like weird stories and stuff, and then it cuts to a commercial where this doctor is like, "Want to get a new heart?
Come and talk to our surgeons
Come and
today.
yeah, because remember, we care."
Oh God.
See that kind of stuff. I love that.
So
I
some
love
of it
that vibe.
reminded me of like, I mean, I said it in the intro, like this dystopian world
Yeah,
where it's like
it's Detroit.
it is Detroit, but it's old Detroit, implying that they're trying to rebuild it.
The whole plan of the corporation is that they're building Delta City. I think was what it was
I
called.
think so.
Yeah, where they're basically gonna get rid of old Detroit and build this new super
Sparkly.
utopia city.
Okay, this is in America, yes.
It's Detroit. Yeah,
I know, but like, what is the setting? I mean, what is the government like?
It's an alternate universe, I guess.
It's gotta be.
Yeah,
because like this private security company
Mm-hmm.
owns the police force.
yeah.
What is that? Why? In what world? And why would the government let this happen? And if it's privatized, how
Well,
does
they
it
don't
work?
own the police force.
They manage it.
They are developing new technology for Delta City so that because the old Detroit is riddled with crime.
Oh, it's Gotham.
It's the worst
It's
place
literally
on
Gotham.
earth.
Like, you don't want to go here. But I remember a few times where they said that, like, that they own them. OCP is the company, I think. Is that correct?
Yes.
Or it's like security something.
I think...
I don't know.
They're just like
Something
the elite. The wealthy elite. It's OCP.
I think you're right. It's OCP, but I'm pretty sure that they own the police force.
Okay, maybe
they at least manage it.
Well, they're developing cop robots.
Yeah.
So...
Because they're like, the crime is so bad that we need to have cops that are 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
You know,
So they can clean this up. So that they want to develop technology to give to the police. This is how I understood. So that they could get rid of all of this fucking excess crime. So that their new city could prosper and be utopic. Right.
And being a cop in the way it is currently is crazy dangerous.
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse me. And they keep talking about, like, in the news reports, how all these cops are dying. And even the ad for this OCP company, he's like, being a cop is dangerous. We know that. And it's just, like, accepted that if you become a cop in old Detroit, you have, like, a 50 to 80% chance of dying on the job.
In the news, on the news report, in the intro, they're showing dead cops on the ground with numbers beside them, and the number starts at 29 and then pans over to another dead cop and it says 30, implying that at least 30 cops were killed
just on a regular day. And it's not funny, but it's jarring kind of, because the newscasters are just like, in other news, they're still so, like, bright and happy. Right. It's just bizarre.
Cops are just cannon fodder.
Yeah. And I don't know, I mean, they seem like regular cops, but, like, they don't seem like, it doesn't seem like a profession that's different in this world. It seems just as respected as in the world that we live in.
Right.
But they're just like, oh yeah, and a bunch of cops.
They're just they're jaded to cops being shot and killed.
I don't know why they have so many cops. Like, I would never ever want to be one if this was how it was.
Well, let's get into why it is so bad, actually.
Well, right before we talk about Murphy getting transferred there, to this new precinct, I wanted to just really quick make a note that I thought when they talked on the news report about a policeman who was in critical condition, and his name was Frank, and I wrote it down because I thought it would be important, and it's totally not.
They talk about a nuke in the beginning, and I thought that was going to be important.
I thought that he was, in South Africa.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They're just like, there's just nuclear warfare happening there.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But I thought this Frank guy was going to be the person. That's when I was like, oh, is this a cyborg movie? I thought that because they said he was in critical condition. They made sure to say his name, and they were like, we're going to keep an eye on him or whatever.
Right.
And then they just never mentioned him again, and it's completely different characters.
Right.
Like, okay, I'm clearly not getting this movie. But I have in all caps, oh, is this a cyborg movie? Because I just had no idea.
Okay. So, first thing that...
oh, wait, the president was visiting space?
Yeah, the Star Wars space station.
They call it the Star Wars
thing. The Star Wars space station or something like that.
And
they had a gravity malfunction.
Right. They had some kind of power surge or something like that, and it caused their gravity machine to turn off momentarily.
It's so funny how many notes you have about this is like a 45 second chunk of the movie.
To be fair, we watched it like 5 times.
We had to watch it like 5 times because it wouldn't buffer properly.
We finally had to buy it legally. Damn it again.
Gets me steamed.
So Murphy, because of all the cops dying, like in this precinct, like 30 or something cops had just been killed. He gets transferred here.
Yeah.
Is what I got.
Murphy, our hero.
Yeah.
And he's a skinny man.
Yeah.
He's a really thin man.
Not like creepy thin man. Not like from Charlie's Angels, the creepy thin man.
Oh my God.
Anytime someone says thin man, that's
you have the weirdest references.
We should make a podcast about that. But yeah, so there was a talk of a strike happening, maybe. The cops might go on strike. It sets the stage for that in the beginning. That there's tension. The cops aren't happy. The city is not happy. What? Am I talking about the beginning too much?
Way too much.
Okay. It's a lot of exposition to set up. All right.
First thing I want to ask you, because you still haven't, you didn't react or anything, because I was watching you watch this movie. I was kind of watching your reactions.
Okay, freak.
Did you notice the bad guy? Anything
Richard,
interesting about that?
Dick Jones?
Anything interesting about that actor to you?
No.
That's the dad from that 70s show.
No, okay, I know you're talking about Red. Yes, the
bad guy,
the crime boss. But Dick Jones is also a bad guy.
No, I'm talking about the real bad guy.
Yes, I have a note in here that it's Red.
Yeah,
and so I just call him Red for the rest of my notes.
I thought that was so funny. I forgot about that.
And honestly, he's
scary.
As a good actor.
Yeah, he's scary.
It's really
dude.
funny that he's pretty much only famous for that 70s show.
Yeah,
and it doesn't seem like he's really acting. But now I'm like, who is that person? He's not like Red at all. Yeah. Because in this movie,
he's a chameleon.
Like when I first saw him walk up, I laughed inside my head because I realized who it was.
Yeah, because he does look the same.
He's balding. He has his glasses on. Yeah. He looks not like a crime boss. No. In any way.
He looks like a real creep though.
Creepy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Because he looks kind of skinny and got that big head going. Yeah. But when I saw him, I was not convinced that this was the character they really wanted me to believe he was. But then he started acting, and I was like, okay, I guess I could see it. Yeah. But I thought you were talking about Dick Jones. Jones, hereby referred to as. You know the guy in the OCP?
Oh, yeah.
That owned Red?
Who owned Red.
Yeah.
Red. Yeah.
Okay, so... Yeah, so he gets transferred to this police station, and then he gets introduced to his partner.
And there's a little foreshadowing line when he shows up on his first day of work. They say, "Get your armor and suit up."
Ah,
and I was like,
catch that.
"Oh,
like,
here
boing.
we go!" Yeah. I was like, "Swing."
Ooh, girl cop Lewis, hereby referred to as, that's his partner, and I love how they tried to accelerate that relationship to make it seem like they were just old buddies. Yeah. They clearly had still just met.
They just met, and he says,
She kind of comes off as a bitch, which if you're a girl cop, you pretty much have to be. But, like, she's not super friendly at first.
She is in the precinct beating this prisoner's ass.
They just have fights in the lobby.
This is a hellscape. This is Detroit.
This is Gotham.
Yeah, and she beats his ass, and he goes, the first thing he says to her is, "Pretty neat." The movie also, the dialogue is weird because it's like halfway children's movie and then halfway adult movie.
What is this movie rated?
I have no idea.
I think it's rated R, but I just had the IMDb up.
And the locker room in the precinct is unisex.
It's rated R.
Okay.
So it's definitely not a kid's movie in any way.
You see some breasticles.
I saw a butt.
You see man butt and
I didn't
some
see any
big old
breasts.
titties. Yeah, there's
is it Lewis's?
unisex. No, I don't think so. But the girl is putting her bulletproof vest on. Trust me, I'm always scanning the screen
on high alert.
Yeah, if there's a tit, I will find it.
Where the boobies?
Where the boobies?
You and your son both.
That's right.
So
that's my boy. But she puts her Kevlar vest. I have a question for you. I know you've never worn a bulletproof vest.
Not lately.
Yeah, but so you would have some sort of undershirt, I would imagine,
like a sports bra
or a bra or something. She goes straight bare
titty.
Yeah, to vest.
I just feel like that's even closer to the bullet.
Right, that little bit of shirt gives that extra bit.
That sports bra would help.
That's right.
I don't know. It depends on how big they are.
Yeah,
I'd miss them. So
maybe the technology has advanced.
In this dystopian society, they don't need bras anymore.
Right, those cops are hardened.
Okay. So then it pans to the company that we're introduced to. Yeah. And it's like got slight evil vibes.
But see, so the guy who develops Robocop.
Bob is his name.
Yep. Okay. It seems like a total scumbag.
He does.
Right? In the beginning, but he's really not the worst guy.
I mean, he's just a rich guy.
Yeah, he's just a douche.
He's like a typical douchebag, but
so this is what I mean by the dialogue. Mm-hmm. Being kind of like kids movie kind of serious. They're walking and it's these big time businessmen going to this like meeting. They're the elite, the most
They're
elite
executives.
in this place. And this guy goes, "You better be careful. Bill will make sushi out of you."
That's right.
And then the guy says, "Hey, you listen to me, you little twerp."
You little twerp.
Simultaneously in between, they're like, "Oh, fuck him. What the fuck?" But then he goes, "You twerp." Yeah. And it's like, he'll make sushi out of you.
Well, they didn't want to use up all the curse words they were allowed to use.
Yeah, must be.
They had a quota that they couldn't go over. And I'm sorry, they went up to the 95th floor of this building. Yeah. There are at least 95 floors. Yeah. That doesn't exist, surely. How tall were the Twin Towers?
I don't know.
Were they 100 stories?
That wasn't that shocking to me. I assume those buildings are like...
No way.
Really?
I mean, I don't know for sure because, in little old Charlotte, it's only like 50 stories tops, I would think, if that. Yeah. And so when it showed them up on that...
Are you sure about that?
Well, I know.
We might be upsetting somebody in Charlotte right now.
Okay, I don't like climb the Duke Center
Right.
Stairs.
We'll look it up in the break, and we'll try to report.
Meh, just email us.
Yeah,
I'm
just
kidding.
email us.
But like, it just seems
Yeah, you do the
shocking.
work.
It seemed shocking to me to have 95 floors, and then when it showed them in their meeting space on the 95th floor, and it showed the windows, they were like so high up.
Yeah,
So
it's
high up.
95 stories high.
That is vastly tall. It's unbelievable that they would make a building that tall.
They're in a skyscraper. That
It's-
is like where
it's-
rich people have meetings.
I mean, it's as tall as a plane. No, but it is very.
It's as tall as a plane.
I mean, how a plane flies.
Yeah,
You know what I mean.
I know what you meant. Okay, so in this meeting, what happens, Ariel? We get introduced to Ed 209.
Oh my god. This scene is so. I don't even have words for it.
Well, okay, so Dick Jones is one of the
He's the number 2 of the company.
and he has developed this thing that looks like your standard mechanized war machine,
He reminded me
like a robot turkey, kind of with machine guns.
Yeah, there were no wings. Why would you say turkey at all?
Because he
There's no
did
head.
have little wings with machine guns on them.
Okay, I guess you're right.
You know what I mean?
It just didn't strike me as wings. But wait, I was gonna say something about him being number 2. Fuck, what were we just talking about? Go back.
Dick Jones.
Yes.
You said he was number 2. I was talking about how he is a robot turkey. Ed 209.
That prototype Ed 209 reminded me of a machine that's in Starship Troopers. No, is there a machine that looks like that at all?
I don't remember.
Okay, maybe it just looks warish. So I was like, oh,
The vibes of these two movies are pretty similar.
scanning my Rolodex of war.
But
stuff.
anyway, so this guy's like, I have the solution to our crime situation. This is a fully robotic cop that is mounted with humongous machine gun turrets, and it is top of the line. So they decide to
Let's
showcase.
show an example.
Let's
Yeah.
demonstrate. So they say, come over here, buddy, and get this gun.
So
and
some random guy who's like Bob's friend or something.
he's in the meeting. There's like, 20 people in this room?
I would say.
So, and he's presumably if he's in this meeting, he's probably an important person.
Yeah.
You would think so.
I would think.
So they tell him to use the gun in a threatening manner.
Yeah, so he takes his like own handgun and he just kind of brandishes it.
Yeah. It's a humongous pistol.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's like shiny and beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So he points it at him and he says, point it at Ed 209, fucker, or something like that.
smart ass.
Yeah.
So he does, and then the robot is like,
Drop your weapon.
drop your weapon. You have 20 seconds to comply.
Yeah, so
he
he
drops his weapon.
He does, and then it
You have 10
malfunctions.
seconds to comply.
And he's like, whoa.
Shit, I did already.
Yeah,
You
so he
have
starts
5 seconds.
scrambling,
Yeah.
and he's running around, and the Ed 209 steps forward and growls.
Like an actual lion. The beginning
Like
of
a
this
lion.
movie. The beginning of this movie had that thing where MGM or whatever with the lion, like that pokes
It
his
was
head.
like the same noise.
It was the same noise.
You're totally right.
And
is
it
the
also
same
was
noise.
was stop motion.
Oh yeah, it's like claymation almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which nothing else in this movie is, so it looks so obviously out of place.
Yeah,
It is hilarious.
it's great.
Growls like a lion and then just totally lights him up.
Shoots this guy. Guys, it is shocking.
I mean, and it just shows it for so long. You see
Yeah.
him just getting destroyed by this machine gun.
In a meeting, by the way, in a conference room meeting.
During that time, people are screaming, but right after, no one is worried.
Yeah, after this, the guy says, well, I'm disappointed in
That's
you.
right. Number 1, he says
Yeah.
that. I'm disappointed. I put that on
Number
it
1
as
says
a
that
note.
to number 2.
Yeah.
Of
He's
the-
like,
of the
was
company.
this some kind of glitch? And I was like, a man is laying
Not only that,
dead.
turned into confetti.
Oh, it's really disgusting.
It's insane.
There was one time, because I was paying attention to how calm everyone was after that.
Yeah.
There was one person who said, get me out of here.
Yeah.
But I could only see it on the subtitles. I didn't even really hear it. Let me get that cat.
Well, let's take a break, actually. We just hit 30 minutes, so let's take a break. And I will finish my coffee again. And maybe we'll look up those skyscraper statistics.
Okay, bye.
All right. Film. We're back.
The Twin Towers are 104 stories.
So this would be one of the biggest buildings.
And for
On
sure,
Earth.
there's no building like that in Detroit.
Well, who knows that if we were even at the top?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
that camp is just a meeting space.
Well, this is an alternate reality.
So anything goes.
Yeah. For sure.
They're not putting
Anything
much
goes
thought.
in this movie.
It does seem that way, for sure. So there's something weird that we can see happening between Bob and number 2, Jones. There's friction there.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's where like some tension in this movie starts to build a little bit. Mm-hmm. Bob is like needing to prove himself.
Yeah.
All right. So next.
Okay, so after Ed 209 just fucking mows that dude down, I have so much blood / bullets.
That's right. I said overkill. So much shooting / blood.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and I'm sorry, their cop car is such a piece of garbage.
Robocop's cop car?
All of the cop cars that I see in this.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. And so that's why I was confused. I guess it looks like a traditional 80s car.
Yeah, it kind of looks like
it looks old to me now, but I guess at the time maybe it wasn't.
Yeah.
But it's all like blacked out and rusty looking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was weird and definitely not like now they have like Chargers and like SUVs and crazy like nice cars. So
but this is a gritty cop like police force.
Yeah, I guess they just don't have the funding.
But anyway, so after that scene, we kind of get back to Murphy and his first day, and now we see that they're best friends. They're cracking jokes.
That's right, and they're talking about his son.
Yeah,
and how his son likes this TV show where the cop
TJ Laser.
That's right, Laser.
Now this is something that I was like, oh, because RoboCop spinning his pistol, his pistol is kind of iconic. And him going shooting you and then doing the spin and then putting it in his leg
holster.
Yeah, his leg opens up to receive his gun and then closes.
That's the most efficient way to hold a gun.
Yeah, but I didn't know he does that because his son
likes it. So that's how we know.
Laser. He has this
we're not
humanity.
even to the part where Murphy is RoboCop yet. But basically, it's important to note that like they talk about how his son likes TJ Laser and how TJ Laser on the show spins his gun and puts it in his holster.
Yeah.
And so Murphy tries to do it. Right. He's like, oh, my son thinks it's cool, and so do I.
And he's like, and I get a kick out of it too. But so then they get a call, and this is the call that would change Murphy's life forever.
I forget. What was the call even for?
It was for Red was like
Daddy Red.
Yeah. He was
just being a crime boss.
Just being a crime boss. He was this is what he did before he had Eric, his son. Is his son's name Eric?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Even though he looks the exact same and
Weird.
hasn't aged a day.
We mentioned Fez in Scarface.
That's right.
Oh my God.
We don't just watch that 70s show.
Yeah.
Anyway, you don't believe us. That's okay.
So they're on the call and they're chasing them down, and Red's team is insane. These guys are maniacs.
They remind me of like people who would be prisoners in Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
I mean, for real, they're
It's a good comparison.
These traditional
they're like henchmen.
Villain characters.
You know how we know they're insane?
One of them is crazy and just laughs at everything. But
like
the way,
a witch.
The way he laughs is like, yeah.
Yeah, he cackles, yeah.
Like, what? And then the other guy, the driver with the facial hair?
That's how we know they're insane. Because his beard, okay, so he has sideburns and his jawline is shaved where you would typically do like a chin strap is
elevated
in the middle of his cheek,
right,
to his mustache.
Is where his chin strap is.
But then it's a full goatee.
Mm-hmm. And that's it. And then an earring. A really dangly one.
Why?
That's just, you know what, Ryan? That is the look.
No, it is not. No, it isn't.
And he looks kind of like, I don't even know what he was going for.
Yeah.
But it definitely is evil.
That's how we know these guys are.
I'm like, this guy is
they're not right in the
to
head.
be fucked with.
Yeah. So they hunt him. They're going after Red. He's this big time crime boss, and they're.
Oh right, there's like the battle while they're driving.
Yeah, they have this shootout.
I put in my notes. Oh, is it police protocol to stick your entire head out the window
with 2 pistols
and engage in a firefight in the middle of the highway?
Yeah, and they pulled that super sneaky move where they just pulled up beside the van instead of.
How did they do that? I guess it's a windowless van.
Oh, these cops are good.
Okay.
These cops are good.
They're like, I got rookie like vibe from him, but okay. I guess he's not really because he just transferred.
Well, they seem pretty stupid because these guys have a whole arsenal, and they get to the warehouse where they chase them to this warehouse, and they're like, they say, "Can we get some backup?" And they say, "Backup's not available." And then Murphy literally goes, "Oh man!"
They're just like, "Let's continue to do this anyway."
Yeah, he goes, "Your call," and his partner says, "Let's do it."
Yeah, and she's blowing her bubble gum.
She's walking into this place chewing bubble gum,
like bazooka bubblegum.
Yeah, and turns and catches. She finds this guy pissing, the cackling one, bad guy. She finds him pissing, and she blows a bubble, and then he like stops peeing.
Yeah, it
and
pops.
then she says,
so it's
"Freeze."
like a loud noise. That's right.
But so this drove me crazy.
I have a note about this too.
Yeah. Okay. So he turns around he puts his hands up.
He was just peeing.
He was just peeing, so his dick is out. And then he turns and faces her, and he says, "You mind if I zip this up?" And there's
worried.
a standoff for a second where they're just staring
like,
at each other's
zooms in
eyes.
on her eyes, and she's like, they're just looking at each other.
Yeah, and then she looks down. She couldn't resist looking at
his dick was her undoing.
Yeah,
because that's when he charges her.
He punches her right in the face, and she flies over a balcony.
And she falls down this like a few stories at least.
And then he thinks he killed her. He's like, I took her out.
That's a rat.
He goes, I took her out. She was sweet.
I want more information about this guy.
I know.
He would have been
weird.
a like scarier crime boss than Red is.
I don't know.
Because he's so crazy. Like the crazier you are, like the Joker. Mm-hmm. How he's so insane.
Yeah.
That it's fucking
Spooky.
terrifying.
What's he gonna do?
Yeah, you don't know if he's gonna stab you in the hand.
Yeah. He's unhinged. Or blow up your car.
Or just be your friend.
Yeah.
There's no knowing. I want to work for that guy. So then like I guess in the time like their van was super fast and they just got there way before the cops got there.
Yeah, because these guys
were
like
chilling.
They've unwinded.
They were watching a sitcom.
Yeah, well, they did because they remember he read through one of his own henchmen out of the window and busted their windshield. Remember?
Yes, because I put a note in like they just backed up and he fell off and then they zoomed off and I was like, they're not worried about this person that is thrown out of a van.
No, they don't care. That dude's done.
He's just a dead person?
He's just dead
He's
now.
never in the movie again.
Yeah.
So I guess he just died.
Yeah.
But it seems weird that cops would be like, okay, let's just go and leave this person in the highway.
Well, they're trying to get the
big guy, I guess. Seems really strange that there's not like any kind of sting operation to try and get Red. It's just like whoever's available, try to get him.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. It's not what I thought it was going to be.
Right. I don't know if they knew it was him necessarily until they like caught up to them.
I wish I remembered what his name was in the movie.
Yeah, who cares? We'll just call him Red.
Okay.
But so then we finally get to the point where very long in this podcast, and now we're finally getting to where he turns into Robocop.
First, he shoots. So like he comes across these guys that are just chilling.
Yeah.
And he's like,
they're watching this TV show, by the way.
And they're laughing so hard.
Cracking up.
Killing.
Did you see what was on the screen?
It was like some weird interaction, right?
It was a dude giving a woman a birthday cake that was shaped like boobs that he smashes into her boobs.
Into her chest.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
They keep cutting to this thing throughout the movie. Everybody watches this one horrible show where the guy goes, I'd buy that for $1.
And it's clearly supposed to be terrible, but everyone watching it finds it so funny.
Yeah, everybody.
That also kind of reminds me of the Hunger Games for some reason. That's not in the Hunger Games, but it reminds me of that kind of same universe.
I don't get that.
Because it's like this weird, like, is it propaganda? Not really. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's like this. It's like they're all brainwashed.
It's meant to just be like that society is degrading.
Funny? Yeah.
That's what it's meant to
It's
to
really,
show.
It is unnerving. I mean, it's funny because it's supposed to be funny.
Yeah,
I think.
it's making fun of,
if
like...
you think about it deeply, it's a little unnerving. And it just kind of reminded me of 1984.
Okay.
I don't know.
Hunger Games in 1984. This guy saying, I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, because like it's like the only show that's ever shown, and everyone watches it, and everyone finds it so funny. And this town is falling apart. Like later on in this movie, they just have like a cannon blaster shooting up the entire strip, like a not a strip mall, but like a downtown street,
like a whole city block.
Yeah. And there's nobody around that was worried about it, and then they're just like, all right, let's go, and they just leave. I'm like, what is this?
Because society is degrading. That's why the crime is so prevalent, because people have no morals and they have no standards. So they watch this one TV show that is absolute dog shit.
Kind of like Idiocracy.
It's exactly like Idiocracy. I get that.
Okay, now. Maybe that's what I was thinking
So it was like 1984 Hunger Games and Idiocracy.
Yeah, just combine them all and you got Robocop.
There you go. Well, at least you have this TV show within the movie of Robocop.
There's just little aspects of this movie that reminds me of that stuff.
Okay.
But anyway, so
he confronts these guys, and he thinks he has them, but then a guy pops up on the catwalk behind him.
He kind of gets surrounded. There's like a few people. Fucked. Yeah, there's like 20 of them.
And he's then alone because his partner got knocked out for looking at the dude's peen.
He calls for he calls for her, but she's not answering. She's hurt.
Yeah.
So she's trying to make her way over there, but she's she's wounded.
So they knock him down and they point. Red does this little thing where he's like aiming his shotgun at him, and Red's standing over him and he's going, which is weird now that I think about it. It's like he has a tracking system, which Robocop eventually does have.
But what is he looking for? What is he tracking?
I don't know. He's just like
shoots off his hand
targeting.
first.
He shoots him in the hand and his hand blows off.
And then it looks like a shard of like metal sticking out of his arm, and he's like, "Somebody give him a hand," and I'm like, "Hook."
Yeah. Red's a funny guy.
Oh yeah, and then he gets completely lit up, remains standing.
Yeah.
And it's just getting like, if you can imagine.
They say he's walking, so he's shot him in the hand, and then he's like gets up and he's like trying to like get out of there.
Right.
And then they say, "Hey, turn around, man," and he does.
He's like, "Oh, okay."
He slowly turns around, and then they.
I mean, like.
Holy hell! A barrage of gunfire.
And he's just like, and he's like, his chest is. His shoulders are like going back and forth.
Yeah, it's like 7 guys, all with shotguns, point blank range, and that scene lasts for what, 25 seconds?
At least.
Him just screaming,
just yelling,
and he's alive.
Yeah, he's still alive. Not only that, but then he gets shot in the head.
Yeah, as the final blow.
And then he gets brought to the emergency room after his partner finds him shot in the head and like cries over him.
Yeah.
He then gets brought to the emergency room where they're working on him. Mm-hmm. So he's still alive.
It's from his perspective, like he's conscious through the whole thing.
I mean, yeah.
What?
I don't. And then they do the defibrillator.
Yeah.
For so long.
But then they call his death. They call his death.
So he's
they're
dead.
working on him,
but
and then they say time of death 6:15,
mm-hmm.
and then
it kind of fades to black.
Cuts to black, and it's all from his perspective. But then you get a TV screen flash on, like, and they're doing it now. We're getting into like the process of them working on Robocop.
Mm-hmm. They're making
everybody's like in his face.
Yeah, there's like doctors, and then there's also like, I guess, techie people.
Yeah, and they're showing like time lapse, kind of like they have a New Year's party. Because it keeps fading in and out like it's malfunctioning.
And
it's
I was
not
like,
quite
is
online.
he at the office or is he still in the hospital and these doctors are partying?
They're partying in the room with this corpse.
Oh my God. I mean, he's part robot by then.
You know what drove me crazy about that New Year's scene?
What?
The woman who walks up to him, because they're all wasted. They're like, "Oh, look, he's waking up."
They're
First of all,
working
they're not
at
in control
12
of it.
a.m.
Well, no, they're just partying at their workplace. It's a work off.
So it's
New Year's
not
party.
it's not the new year yet?
I don't know.
Because it seemed like that's why she would kiss him, because that's what you do when the ball drops.
Yeah. But here's my issue is, well, so they walk up and they're like, "Look, he's online." They're not in control of whether or not he comes online.
Oh,
That's
look,
not good.
This spontaneous thing happened.
Up. Yeah. So then they walk over and they're all wasted, and they put like a crown on his head.
Oh, I missed that.
And then she says, "This is for you," and then she kisses him. But because the camera's from his perspective,
right.
Her lips come straight to the camera. So she kisses his eyes.
Kisses his eyes because later you see that his bottom half of his face is completely regular, like a man's.
He has a
human. He has mouth.
He has a cow, like a Batman face.
Right.
He has mouth.
He has mouth.
That dude got mouth.
She could kiss.
She could kiss his mouth.
I guess that's more
good
rapey.
Mouth too.
Like maybe she was like, "Oh, well, he's a dead person."
I guess.
That seems too real. Like,
yeah.
I'm not trying to make out with this guy. I
guess.
just am like showing affection
So
in
let
a
me
light
kiss
way.
his visor.
Ugh.
It'd be like if I kissed your sunglasses.
Right. And then it leaves a little a lipstick smudge.
Yeah.
But that's gone by the next time he wakes up.
Yeah, someone wiped it off, I guess.
That's what I put here too. Like, doctors and staff are partying.
Yeah.
Like, aren't they at work?
So then he wakes up, and I love the reveal of Robocop.
I put that in here too.
Yeah, because it's all from the cops, the regular cops'
He just
perspective.
like strolls into the
You
precinct.
hear the zzzt, poof, poof, poof.
That's one of the things I thought was funny is that mostly he moves like a robot, but not all the time. Sometimes he's organic.
Yeah, like when he was in the parking garage.
Yeah.
And he was crawling
and he
away.
was like
he
rolling.
was moving very fluid, yeah.
I'm like,
right
okay,
there.
and then but then he'll turn and look like and look at you like that. And it's like
yeah. It makes him seem like limited.
But
like,
I guess he's only half robot, so his organic.
Well, he's like 97% robot.
Yeah, because they were like, they said, "Oh, we could save his arm."
Yeah, and the
then
guy's like, "No, fuck that."
Bob is like, "Let's get rid of it."
Yeah, full prosthetics.
And okay, but he still has his. Is it like his? What is human in him?
His brain.
And his face.
And his soul.
And his memories.
Yeah.
But his face and nothing in his torso because he has to eat.
Yeah.
They give him baby food.
Yeah.
So he has a digestive system.
Somewhat. Yeah.
And like an anus.
I don't know why. He has an anus. He has to.
Yeah. It's never addressed.
Yeah, that's weird.
Does he have metal underwear? Or does it just like and open up and like spit out the shit? These are things I need to know about Robo.
Out the shit.
Like a faucet.
It looks just like how the baby food being presented shows.
Same.
You know when they show how they're like, this machine makes his paste, his food paste, and it's just like looks like straight diarrhea.
Yeah, and the guy's like, tastes like baby food.
He's like, knock yourself out.
Yeah, I thought for a second that was the stuff that was Robocop's waste. So he's like, what, solar? What does he run on?
I don't know. They don't really get into any of that.
Is he just
and
run
you know why? Because
off...
it doesn't fucking matter.
I need to know these things.
No, this is what I love about this movie. Is it's just
it's not about that.
Insane.
They're like, we're not. You know what? We're not gonna be scientific about this.
Yeah,
we're gonna make
shot
a
in the
cyborg.
fucking head, and he's fine.
Oh, and later when it does reveal his face, there's no bullet wound.
No, there is.
Really?
There's like a little scar.
You're totally right.
Yeah, there's like a little scar.
I did not think that's what that was.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look like a bullet wound.
I thought that was a good bit of detail.
It looks like a little, like somebody stuck him with a tack.
Yeah, it's a little healed over little
it doesn't
spot.
Look like he had a huge hole in his head. Clearly, we're not being accurate here.
I missed. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I like about this movie.
I guess it's just over the top.
Yeah.
It's fun.
But so one question. I might be stupid, but the lady says he tries to shake the robotic hand, and do you hear that weird noise again?
I think it's a bird.
Oh my god! Close that window.
No, it's hot in here.
That bird is ridiculous.
It's gonna go away. They're not gonna stay there.
Oh my god! It sounds like
them.
the animal kingdom is outside.
Fine, I'll close the window. Okay.
Okay.
It's just the morning. It's just beautiful morning sounds, Ryan.
Fuck that.
Okay, so you're talking
Hold on.
about
oh yes,
the hand.
The prosthetic is moving around and they shake its hand. He shakes it and it like hurts his. He's like, oh, he's got a hell of a grip. It's like crushes. You hear bones cracking when he's like shaking his hand. The lady says, the arm he has a strength of 400 foot-pounds.
Yeah, what is that?
What is a foot-pound?
What's a foot-pound?
I've never heard of that
it's
before.
It's just the most American unit of measurement ever.
Yeah, I was like,
feet and pounds.
Foot-pound?
Is it like square?
Pounds
it like? Is it okay?
Per square foot?
No. I think it's more like when an alligator shuts his mouth, and it's like the pressure is whatever they say it is, like 500 pounds of pressure. I think it's like pounds of something. It's like that's how they measure.
Yeah. It's like per
strength.
inch or something.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it referred to as foot-pound.
No, I don't think that's a real thing.
Yeah. Okay. I just thought that was weird.
Unless they're trying to say, because it's usually like pounds per inch. Maybe they're just like, no, it's a foot. Like it's that much stronger. I don't know.
I didn't know.
You know what? I'm not.
I didn't get it, but I was like, okay, he's strong. That's all I need to know.
So then
one other thing.
Okay.
When he's booting up, they show his they kind of run through his like
directives.
Operating system, and it shows it directives, and it's like
protect the citizens,
keep the public trust or something.
Yeah. Arrest the bad guys.
Arrest the bad guys
like
and
that.
protect the innocent or something.
Yeah.
And then it says
fourth directive.
Directive 4, classified.
Classified.
So it's classified even to himself?
Yep. He can't.
Why
look
would it
at
be like that to begin with?
Not only that, but he doesn't say it, so nobody else knows he has it.
Yeah.
Like Bob doesn't know.
Yeah. No one who's working on this thing knows about it, and also it doesn't make sense for it to be classified, because the reveal is he can't arrest someone a higher ranking person in OCP.
Right, the company that made him.
Yeah.
Right.
What? That's not a big deal.
Well, I mean, it's a little corrupt.
It's a little corrupt,
yeah,
but it's not that shocking. Like it only
it's top secret.
Yeah, the fact that it's classified even to the cop, to RoboCop himself.
Yeah,
is so weird.
It is, I guess, because maybe he would
just
recognize
for a reveal
it,
for the audience.
That I think you're probably right, but to look at it a little deeper is maybe because it's seen as immoral. He would recognize that and be like, this is not upholding the law, and then reveal it.
Yeah.
This
is not upholding the law.
To like Bob, and then Bob would be like, oh, we got to program that out real quick. I don't know. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
So he strolls into the precinct and he practices shooting. Like he's introduced, I guess.
Yeah, he's got his badass gun.
He's shooting, and everyone all the other cops that are also shooting in this like indoor range kind of stop. And they're like amazed.
They're like, look at his fucking gun.
That's when he does the gun twirl, and Lewis recognizes him as her old partner. She's like, wait a second. Which is kind of weird to me, because I'm like, I think anyone, like, he can't be the only one who twirls his gun. Ever? Any cop? Nobody does that?
Well, it's not good. It's not very responsible.
because safety is on.
Well, still.
I don't know. You're
It's
probably
not a
right.
toy. But so he spins his gun, which reveals to us that his humanity is still locked away somewhere in there.
Because they did make a comment while they were creating him that were where they said they were going to wipe his memory.
Yeah.
And I said, he's dead, but he has a memory that you can wipe?
His memory of them uploading all of that, while he was coming online.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they meant like his human memory.
No.
Okay.
So, but what that implies is they thought they had full control over his memories, but his humanity was bleeding through, and so RoboCop is having this struggle where he slowly starts to piece together his old life.
And he's like, who am I? He has an identity crisis.
He has an identity crisis, which was hilarious. He somehow finds his old address, and he goes to his old house, which there is for sale.
It's for sale because his wife and son
have
moved.
left.
Yeah.
They've moved on
because he died.
Yeah, and he's walking through the house, which they cleaned up. There's like a little robotic screen.
Yeah, and
kind
they're
of
like,
being
welcome
to your new home.
Yeah.
But
let's take a tour.
So they cleaned up the whole house except for the flowers that are dead. The house is presumably still being shown, and it looks like ass because there's dead plants everywhere.
And the couch is there, but it's just covered by a sheet.
Yeah.
So it just looks ghosty.
Yeah.
And creepy.
It's a bad way to showcase a house.
Yeah.
That was funny, but I get why there was flowers in there to be like the house has been, no one's been in there, it's been neglected, and it's symbolism of their marriage and his old life.
There was so he started remembering how his house was when he was a human as he was walking through, and there was this one part where he was remembering a point where he was joking around with his family in the kitchen, and they were doing
his son is dressed like the devil.
Yes,
for Halloween.
So in the photo, it looks like a little old man.
Yeah,
because he has the mustache.
Yeah,
and stuff.
That's a trope that I love about TV shows and movies of the son wearing the devil costume.
Is that a thing?
I've never seen it in real life, but I see it all the time.
I was a devil once for Halloween.
Really, with the red pitchfork and the red horns and the cape and everything.
I mean, I was dressed in red and I had horns. I don't know if I had a pitchfork, and I definitely didn't have facial hair.
Whack.
I was a little kid, though.
You were just a demon.
I just had red things, and I was like, I'm just gonna be the devil. And then I'm sorry, but he's a little old to watch TJ Laser.
TJ Laser. It's this one scene all the time where that show looks like shit.
It looks like Power Rangers, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he is like a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah. Dad, can you do that with your gun? Yeah. He's way too old.
Not a 5-year-old. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. And then there was a second where I thought that the wife was the wife from Beetlejuice. The wife, Alec Baldwin's opposite.
Yeah.
Because she made some face where it looked like her.
She just had that 80s hair, man.
But then in the next scene where she was like, I have something to tell you. It's that I love you.
I loved that so much.
It was just a totally...
Hey, I have, totally serious. I have something to tell you.
I know you've been cheating. No,
yeah,
I just love you.
She goes, I just love you so much.
Nobody does that.
No.
That's rude.
This is
Let me just incite some panic and then be like, just kidding.
I love you.
Everything's great.
Yeah, it was
We have the
really
perfect
funny.
idyllic marriage.
Yeah. This will be perfect for a flashback you're going to have later.
Right. So that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So that's when I realized I don't think it was her because she looked totally different in that scene.
Yeah.
But man, it totally looked like her. And I said, why do we keep watching things that have people
related
from Beetlejuice in it? And I thought it was a sign that we should watch it. But anyway, that's not important. So then Robocop is being a cop. He's driving around. He's solving crimes.
Well, I guess before he has his crisis, there is a night where he tests.
He's just being a cop.
He's just being a cop.
I thought it was so funny that he has to drive a car.
A regular car.
Can you imagine him getting gas?
It seems like he should have a robo-mobile.
Or that he can just fly.
I hate the word robo, by the way. It was driving me crazy.
Why?
You never say it. He's robotic cop.
His name is Robocop, though.
They call him Robo. His name is Robo. You never... why? Robo is just shortened robotic.
Every time they said that, I wanted to be like, Robo-bo, bo-bo-bo-bo.
Yeah.
That weird anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very...
Robotic cops doesn't sound that bad, does it?
It's too many syllables.
You think?
Yeah.
Robotic cop.
That's too...
It's like Roboti cop.
If somebody's name was Christopher Robin and they went by Christopher Robin instead of just Chris.
Okay. I won't die on this hill.
I don't know. That's just an example.
You just never hear the word robo in any other instance.
There's a type of hamster that I had. It was like a robo-dwarf hamster.
And that does not pertain at all to a robotic system, does it?
I don't know why he was called that.
Yeah.
I don't know why they named that species that. Anyway, dumbest hamster ever.
So let's kind of talk about his night of crime fighting.
Well, was it the convenience store first?
Yeah. So the guy walks up. No, that was the last one. Because this gas station blows up.
Not the gas station.
Oh, yeah.
The convenience store where the guy was watching that show.
The guy was watching the show.
He robs them.
He's robbing them. And dude comes in and the guy is shooting.
Citizen.
He's a citizen. So this
You're
guy
under
is robbing
arrest.
these two old people at this convenience store.
It's like a mom and pop shop.
Yeah. And the guy hides. What a genius way to hide your safe under a stack of beers.
It's like a pyramid of beer.
Yeah.
And the safe is in the middle.
Yeah.
Which is so impractical.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the night, he had to deassemble the
whole pyramid.
Give me a break.
Yeah, it's stupid. But so the guy's like, give me the money, and then Robocop shows up and she's like, citizen, freeze, you're under arrest.
He says he's under arrest, and then he blows him back into a pre-scored glass wall, like a where they had drinks or something.
Yeah.
You can tell before he flies into it that it's already completely ready to break.
Totally.
He didn't try to hide that at all.
But what I like is when he sees Robocop and his reaction is to shoot at him and go, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, the whole time he was shooting at him.
And then he just blows him back, and then he just leaves. Like, he doesn't arrest him.
Yeah.
He just kills him?
He just kills him and leaves or
and
something.
I'm like, okay, this is
no,
not Batman.
He bends his gun barrel.
That's right.
And then he punches him and he knocks him
flies
into the
him
thing.
back. And then
he leaves.
Just leaves.
Doesn't
and I'm
take
like,
anybody to
so
jail.
they just have to deal with this.
Yeah.
Like, unconscious man now.
Yeah.
At least unconscious. He could be dead.
I thought that was funny. So
and
then we get to the rape.
The most unrealistic mugging I have ever seen.
These guys are like Joker's henchmen.
And then it turns into a rape. Because he's like,
well, they see this.
They're trying to.
Two like creepos that are dressed like the Warriors or something, and they are running down the street and they see this like blonde lady and they
in like a
have her.
floral dress.
Yeah, in the middle of this horrible city, she's like,
by herself.
"Oh, I just got off the bus from
Well,
Alabama."
it just seems like a character who, would be like from the countryside of Alabama.
Yeah.
She's like so pure looking and just doesn't look like anyone who would live in old Detroit.
Yeah, she doesn't know what the fuck's going on. And then they're like, "Oh, come here, I like you, girl."
First, it seems like they're trying to rob her, and she's screaming, and that's when he shows up.
So then
then they're like kissing her neck.
Well, they're kissing her neck, and then they go, "Let's give her a haircut," and they cut her hair with a knife.
Her hair off.
But then he says, "There's hair down there."
That's right. He's like, "Oh yeah, there's such a thing as pubes."
Was he gonna cut her pubes?
What a freak. I don't know. I mean, he was acting really strange because
what?
he was just the blonde guy was acting freaky.
Yeah.
I mean, they both were, but he freaked me out to another level.
They were both very freaky.
It was like they're from Arkham
So Robocop
Asylum.
shows up, saves the girl from the pube cutting.
How does he save her?
So they take her hostage. They're like, "Back up, man!" And the guy's holding her like classic hostage pose with a gun to her head. And Robocop's targeting system kind of zooms in on the girl's kind of crotch area.
And you panic a little because
And
you're like,
"What?"
"Don't shoot her."
So he shoots through her, but in between her legs,
Through her
dress,
to his dick.
and he just below her lady part,
Mm-hmm.
and then it blows the dude's balls away.
Yeah.
Blows the dude's balls.
His balls
I don't know
are
why I said it
away
that
from
way.
his body now.
Yeah.
No, but he just shoots him right in the crotch, and
Right
then
in
the
the
other
crotch.
guy gets scared and runs away, I think.
Yeah.
Does he arrest them?
I don't know. You never see him arresting anybody. That's why I'm like, he's not a very good
Well, he
cop.
arrests Red later. He brings him in.
Way later, yeah.
Like at the end.
It's the only person we see
the
him
only arrest.
bring in.
Yep.
So then the last guy.
Not a very
is
effective
the
cop.
last guy he runs into in this night. This is one night. These
Yep.
crimes are ridiculous.
Yeah.
So this guy shows up at a gas station, and he's the
This
dude
is
with
facial
the beard.
hair guy.
He's
Yep.
the facial hair man.
With the earring.
Yeah, and he shows up at this gas station, and this guy's reading plane geometry.
He's doing, like, he has a, what are those things called where you make a circle with it?
Yeah, a compass.
I guess. Is it called that?
Yeah.
I thought it was called something else.
No, it's a compass.
Okay. So he's using that tool, and he's like reading, and he's like very interested in math. And at first I'm like, who is this nerd?
Yeah.
Nobody does that. But then it's like revealed that he's a college student.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. Anyway, he's getting shit from facial hair guy.
The guy's trying to rob him or whatever.
He's like,
and then
give me
fill
all your
up my
money
gas
plus
tank.
free gas.
So RoboCop shows up and he's trying to bust him, but he,
Sorry, I just remembered.
the guy shoots
he
the
gets
gas line.
recognized because
Oh,
he says,
yeah. The facial hair man sees RoboCop show up. It's a giant android man with his mouth is showing, and a cyborg man. Sorry, not an android. And the facial hair man says, "Wait, we killed you." You're dead.
What does he say? He says
no.
You're coming with me, dead or alive.
Yeah. He says, you're coming with me. Dead. No, when he shoots the guy, the rapist, by the way, he goes, you're a move, creep. Which I liked that line. That was funny.
Because, they programmed this robot to have that kind of dialogue with his citizens.
Yeah.
So he says, I'm going to take you one way or other, dead or alive, or something that sounds similar to that.
Yeah.
And that's how he gets recognized?
The guy, if you follow the rules of Batman, which of course I do, you can't recognize somebody from their lower half of their face.
His does look like every man's face. Like the bottom half anyway. Yeah. I wouldn't recognize him.
Of course not.
But one line that he says, and then he gets recognized by the other cop by twirling his gun. It just seems unrealistic to the max that those things would be revealing that it's Murphy.
Again, this is what I like about this movie. Then Robocop kind of recognizes him, and it triggers. That's what sends him into the whole spiral where he goes,
"Who am I?"
Yeah, he's starting to.
Why am I here?
And that's when he
investigates
more to
his
life? House.
That's right. Yeah. So then he doesn't he beforehand he looks up these men. He looks up on the computer.
He has a spike thing that comes out of his hand.
Looks like a middle finger.
Yeah, that's his data. It's like a Wolverine.
It's like a USB.
Finger. Yeah, it's like a USB stick that he plugs
But it doesn't look like one.
No, I've never seen anybody else use this system.
But they have holes for it.
By the way, the futuristic the technology's so bad.
Yeah.
The computer screens are like to load an image.
I made a note about that because he injected his USB thing.
Yeah.
And then it was constructing a match based on an image he provided to find out who facial hair guy was, and then it found all of the other henchmen that way. Yeah. And I said, how is he moving a mouse? Is this computer just doing all of this by itself?
It's his mind.
Oh, he's connected. Oh, he's constructing the thoughts that are just being projected.
I guess so. That's what I thought. Yeah. Because he's advanced.
I can see.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was just waiting.
The images load at dial-up speed, but they're able to develop a cyborg.
Beep, 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 beep.
Oh my god! And the facial recognition software worked by starting with the chin. It found a match for the chin, then a nose. It was just going,
just going through a Rolodex.
Of faces, and it was like, this is a match.
Okay.
So then he found out Red killed Murphy.
Right. He found Murphy. Yep. And then that's how he found his address, and he went to go visit his house and stuff.
Absolutely. Okay.
So we got ahead of ourselves a little, but anyway.
Whatever. I actually don't think that matters that much.
It really doesn't.
Yeah, we have to bounce around.
So then I think the next important scene is when they're in that weird Coke warehouse.
Yeah. That was weird.
So is Red
is trying to make some kind of drug deal. He's like, this is my city.
This is my city. Eric?
Yeah. Eric. When are you going to get a damn job?
Down there smoking pot with your friends.
Yeah, get that little brown boy out of my house.
Oh my god, does he say that?
I don't know.
Poor Fez. Anyway, he... Oh, wait. No, before that, I think... Hang on, let me just make sure. Because I think before that is when we see Bob with those two hookers in the hotel room. And she pours Coke on her chest, and he does lines of Coke off her chest.
Oh my god.
Just not really lines.
And Red busts... So Red... Okay, so...
Right, Red busts in.
So Dick Jones and the guy who developed Robocop are there.
There's problems.
They fight in the bathroom.
Yeah.
The guy
because he's like, he's just talking shit. He's like, what does he even say about him? He's an old man or something.
He's mad because now the dude who developed Robocop is
being successful. He's a VP now, and he's successful.
He's
rising up,
the favorite of the boss instead of the guy who developed Ed 209. So
the murder Wally.
He says in the bathroom, he goes, I remember when I used to be good with the boss. I used to call him Old Iron Butt.
That's right. I wrote down Iron Butt, and I said, "What is that?"
Yeah, that was bizarre.
There were a couple other names that he called them, but that one by far was the best one. Iron Butt.
Anyway,
so he was making fun of.
So Dick Jones is upset about that.
Yeah.
And so he sends Red to kill him.
Right.
So he sends Red to his house. So this dude's in there partying because he's successful now. He's in there doing coke with these two girls.
He's about to have a threesome.
He's like, smart is sexy.
Yeah, because they're so smart.
They're so smart. And
she's like, sometimes I just like I think of something intelligent and I just get so horny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's unrealistic.
What do you mean?
Anyway, and then so he busts in and then he plays a video and I'm like, oh, this video was already loaded on the hotel TV.
No, he had a disc.
Oh, I totally missed that.
He had a disc. He put the disc in, but he put a disc into his wall with 3 different TVs.
That's
and
how
like
you watch TV.
And a reel-to-reel, like for audio with tape.
That's right.
Like what the fuck?
This is the future.
Yeah.
And that's Jones being like, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, it's on the TV plays Jones. He's like, I guess you're on your knees. There can only be one of us, or whatever. And then, so he blows him up with a grenade. Mm-hmm. And so now he's out of the picture. And so Red is working for one of the guys at OCP. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's an important detail.
He's working for the number 2. Yeah.
Number 2.
That's right.
So then, by the way, when Red comes in, he kicks in the door and he goes, "Bitches, leave."
That's right. And they're just like, okay, bye.
Okay, bye. And the girl even says, "Call me." Yeah. After the dude has like a gun pointed at her. I thought that was so
funny. Okay, hang on. Let me take a sec because I found. Okay, wait a minute. No, bye. Is that where Iron Butt? Okay, I'm just trying to figure out where my place is.
Okay. I think, we're at the Coke factory. I think that's accurate.
Can we talk about the Nukem commercial?
Oh yeah, it's like battleships.
Yeah. It's
that was funny.
But they're like throwing atomic bombs. The commercials are so weird. And
I love them.
There's only one, and then it cuts back to the show.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. It cuts back to the news.
That's after the mugging.
But there's also the 6000 SUX, the car commercial. The 6000 sucks.
And whenever Robocop helps that city council guy who's got the mayor hostage, that's the car he demands.
Yeah. That's the car that the guy who cackles when he pulls up to the place.
Okay, I said, is that a DeLorean?
No, that's a 6000 sucks.
Why is it called Sucks?
I don't know.
That's really funny.
The commercial, by the way, it's jarring because it cuts to a claymation dinosaur.
Yes,
out of nowhere,
just in the middle of the movie.
Yeah,
and I'm like, did this just change into a different movie?
And it's like a Godzilla parody.
Except it's just a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, he's not that tall.
And then you're like, oh, this is for okay. Now I'm realizing that that's a commercial for the car. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I guess I just wasn't paying attention to what it was for.
It's jarring. It's weird.
So when he's having his identity crisis, he's having like that dream, and those people are just there watching him sleep. I guess, like those tech people that work for OCP. And he's in the cage and he's dreaming, and the sensor thing is going off the charts. Like he's going up and down.
Yeah.
And nobody's really realizing until he gets up and tries to bust out of there.
Yeah.
And then they're just all like looking at papers. And I thought that was so funny. Like they're just looking at these weird strips of paper that are just suddenly everywhere and getting information.
Yeah. It's his readout. It's
they clearly have no control over him, really, because he just walks out.
Yeah. And it's like day 3 of him coming online.
And Lewis is kind of like, hey, I know who you are. She kind of is like trying to talk to him.
She triggers his like crisis.
Yeah. So I just thought that was important to mention. And then Sarge, the sergeant is so awesome. He's like, that guy's an asshole.
Yeah, that guy's a real asshole. I like Sarge too.
Did the college boy die? In the gas station?
You see him pick up his book.
Blows up.
He picks up his geometry book and he
hauls ass.
He hauls ass, but you don't know. You don't see him.
Yeah, because in the very next scene, like this, lit cigarette gets into contact with some gasoline and blows up the entire station. And Robocop just slowly walks out of the flames like a badass and shoots the facial hair guy.
Yeah.
But he doesn't die.
No, he doesn't die.
He just gets but he does go to jail because later it's like they just got out of jail.
Because he crashes his motorcycle into that car, which is like a crazy motorcycle crash.
The scene is intense.
Super real.
Yeah.
The way his body flies, it looks like they really just had a guy crash into a car.
Maybe they did. Maybe that was his crash dummy.
I love the practical effects in this movie.
Except for the Wall-E robot. That's like stop motion.
No, Ed 209, I love it too. I love it.
It's definitely really funny.
All right. I like the lion roar and all.
So now we're in the place where Red is trying to like work with the guy.
He's working with this obvious super bad guy.
A kingpin.
Who he's a drug kingpin. And you can tell he's bad because he's walking around his Coke warehouse drinking wine.
White wine.
No, it was red wine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even more evil.
That's more evil? Okay.
Totally.
All right.
So he's walking around and then Robocop is looking for Red and he busts in and he takes out everybody in the Coke warehouse, and then he just takes Red and he keeps throwing him through windows. throws him through like 5 windows.
Yes.
And Red
he gets beat up. He's got blood just pouring all down his face.
That huge forehead just takes glass shards.
That's right. Robocop says he busts in and he's like, "Hello, I am here." And then
Hello, I am here.
He knows where this crime house was. Did he know about the Coke Lord guy? Because that's his house. It's not Red's house.
Who knows?
He's looking for Red, but he goes to this place.
Who cares?
Okay.
Robocop.
And he takes on like literally 100 men.
Yeah.
And he wins. I said Robocop got moves. He moves like a robot sometimes, but not always.
Yeah.
Red gets thrown through glass. That's pre-scored. I noticed that.
Yeah, and then meanwhile he's spilling his guts.
Oh yeah, he's like, I work for Jones.
I work for Jones
That's
on
right.
OCP. Blah 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 blah. And then
so then he brings him in.
He's trying to kill Red, but he can't because
his directive.
He's a cop, and so he's choking him to death, and then he has to let go. So he brings him in, and he's like, "Book him."
Man, and it sucks too because they're like, "On what charge?" And he said, "He's a cop killer." But I'm like, he should have just looked back and said, "Murder."
I don't know.
Because he killed Murphy.
He killed a bunch of people. He was a cop.
Yeah, but he was Murphy. Robocop is.
Yeah.
And so it would be so badass if he just threw Red down.
By the way, does it count as murder? Can you be charged for murder if the guy comes back to life?
He didn't really come back to life.
He kind of did.
It's questionable.
Huh.
Because he's pronounced, what they said was when they were building Robocop is, he's pronounced dead, we can do whatever we want with him.
Yeah.
Like he almost became a different entity.
So I guess to everybody else, Murphy is dead.
Right. And so he should have just looked back and been like, murder.
All right, so let's kind of move along a little bit.
All right.
This is kind of running way too long.
He fights Ed 209.
Yeah, so after he finds out that Dick Jones hired Red
he goes to confront
kill
Jones.
this guy.
Yes.
He goes to confront Jones, and Jones is like,
waiting for him.
He's totally acting cool.
He's waiting for him.
He's not worried
pretty
about
much because he's got the tracker. And
he's got the tracker that
coming.
sees where Robocop is at all times, which is hilariously outdated.
Yeah.
It looks horrible technology, but it's futuristic. It's great. It's and so Robocop's like, "You're busted," and then he tries to arrest him, but then
he can't.
And the big reveal, he can't.
Directive 4.
He can't arrest a higher ranking person in OCP. So he starts to malfunction. And then the guy's like, "Ha, I win," or whatever.
I win. And then he brings in Ed 209 and they battle until they get to the stairs because the stairs are his downfall.
How great is that? There is this epic battle. This thing is just like they're destroying this floor, and then RoboCop gets to the stairwell and like falls down the stairs, and then Ed 209 is chasing him and then can't get over.
He like tries to test the water. Yeah, he like puts one foot down,
a little toe thing, and is like, zzz, 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 and then
can't figure it out. Tumbles down and then screeches.
Is just flailing around, just like.
Oh, and during this fight, RoboCop's like helmet gets kind of messed up. You can see his human eyeball.
Well, yeah, later on.
Which I know he takes his mask off entirely, but I was like, this is weird. I thought it was the mask that was giving it that TV-looking display.
No, it's that's what I thought too. But
they went in his brain. Yeah. And changed his vision that way. It's very... I know that you say it doesn't matter, but it doesn't make sense.
I am so anti-vax. I'm just kidding. I'm so I'm so anti RoboCop bareface.
Oh my god! I said Darth Vader ass,
dude.
As soon as he takes that mask off,
that should not be okay. And the whole last half of the movie, he has his fucking mask off.
It's so ugly.
It's horrible. I hate it.
Repelling. It's so bad. Then
so I guess it's his human eyes looking at a screen.
I guess
that is his target.
And then when he does take his mask off, you can see that like it's just a face on like a robot head. Yeah. So I guess they just completely renovated his brain. It's weird though because that is the part of him that's human. Like I've said before, it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. But guess what? It doesn't fucking have to because this is RoboCop.
Some cops are destroying RoboCop, and some cops are upset and they're like, "No, this is a cop. You can't destroy him."
Yeah, I think because like you said, OCP does, I guess, have a lot of sway, and they are acting like RoboCop is. Because the guy called the cops and he's like, RoboCop's up here destroying the place or whatever when he was fighting Ed 209.
All this backup shows up.
So the cops show up and they're like, we have to destroy him. So they are lighting him up. And,
of course, he's a robot, so he's not dying.
He's not fighting back or anything.
No, he's not.
And he's running away. No one. What if they shot him in the mouth?
Any part of the skin.
That's part of RoboCop.
Nobody's aiming for his head at all.
Yeah, that's a question that the great minds of our generation have brought up.
Maybe they address it in the new RoboCop.
Maybe.
Would have to watch that to figure it out. Yeah, and He's super invincible. He like rolls. Lewis
So
saves
running,
the day.
He's running and he's jumping from floor to floor on this parking garage.
Rolling from floor
rolling
to floor.
from floor to floor. Yeah. And
Lewis shows
saves
up
the
and
day.
then they leave. Right.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned that Red's name in this movie is Clarence.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
That's such and I remember when
Of course it is.
God, what a terrible name. Sorry to anyone out there listening who's named Clarence. That is the worst name.
Yeah.
Go by something else, I guess. Clary? No.
Ugh.
Like Larry. I don't know.
Ugh. Clary.
Clarence is terrible. I just feel like it's always a bad guy. Anyway, it seems like OCP has won because Red is released from prison.
During that scene where he's being, the cops are turning on Robocop, and you're like, oh no! They
just disappear.
It plays his triumphant music, just slowed down.
Oh, like
It's so funny. It's
the Reigns of Castamere. Yeah.
or whatever, and it just slows it down, and it's kind of still a triumphant song, so it doesn't really work.
kind of like in 30 Rock, how they just like slow down the main music of it whenever it's like an emotional scene.
Yeah. Womp womp
Womp womp womp womp womp.
I think I
Let's
was
just
doing
do musical tones for the rest of this podcast.
Okay.
So then the police are for real striking because they're able to go to the precinct and just get a shit fuck ton of weapons.
Yeah.
Or at least Lewis is. And then she goes back to this weird warehouse, a different abandoned warehouse,
Yeah.
not the same one that Red's men were in, a different one because there's
Yeah.
a bunch, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's where like Robocop's recovering. And
He's like working on it. He's like fixing himself and
he's like working on his
because
aim.
he's fucked up from Ed 209
That fight.
and from the cops.
Yeah.
Like he got fucked up.
But
for
he
sure.
but he didn't die. And then that's when we see the scene when all of Red's people are being released from prison and showing up together, and they're just blowing up that street.
Yeah. So because he works for OCP, he gets high. He's like, you gotta. Dick Jones is like, you gotta kill this guy because he recorded you spilling your guts, you little puss. And so he's like, he gives them these huge.
Oh, they're called assault cannons.
Assault cannons
is
yeah.
what their actual
And
name is.
4 rounds they fire and they destroy a city block. So
Mm-hmm.
that gives you like a idea of the power level of these things.
Then they show up at this place where Robocop's recovering,
Yeah.
and they have a battle.
They have a battle. I hate that Robocop says "looking for me" before he shoots them. They didn't
back.
see him.
Yeah.
It bugged me. I was like, just shoot him.
This is a steel factory.
Just shoot him.
Just do it. This is a steel factory, I learned, because the molten steel gets poured all over the guy with the facial
It wasn't
hair.
molten steel.
Okay,
It was
what is
toxic
it?
waste.
Okay.
You were writing
Oh
notes
my
while
God.
it showed the
Yeah, I
big
missed-
toxic waste sign.
Yes, I missed
Okay,
that. I
so-
thought it was molten steel. I thought they mentioned
How
that it was a
crazy
steel.
is that, by the way?
What?
So facial
He
hair guy.
immediately becomes a mutant.
A monster, yeah. So during the fight, Lewis and Robocop are shooting, and things are blowing up, and it's going crazy. So they get into a car. Red and one of his henchmen get into a car, and he's trying to drive away, and he like fucks up and crashes into a vat of toxic waste.
Okay.
And then he spills out of his car and out of everything, and he comes out, and he's like a mutant.
I mean, like,
like,
hills
melts
have
it.
eyes, but
Yeah,
I just
and
thought
he's
it was like I thought it was like his skin had just been melted off. I thought it was molten steel. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, it shows him so many times.
Too many times.
Yeah,
It's not.
He keeps turning corners, and people are like, ah!
It's like
Yeah, and he's like, "Ugh," and he just keeps scaring
Help
people.
me!
They're like, what the hell?
It is. That part I think would have really scared me as a little kid. Is that the part you were talking about?
I think I remember the Robocop getting shot. And I was like, oh my God.
I love this guy.
scary.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah,
You shouldn't be watching rated R movies when you're a little kid, babe.
Hey, what can I say?
Let's see this. I mean,
You hear
maybe
that, Mom?
if it was on TV, maybe it was like PG or it was like MA or something.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they took out some parts. But
I don't know.
Anyway,
Robocop is appealing to children.
of course it is.
You know what I mean?
Especially
So-
little boys that are like robots and guns. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I clicked it, and then I was like, oh my God, gore.
Okay, so molten steel knows.
So Toxic Waste Man gets hit by a
Hell,
car.
he looks like an orc.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like.
Well, kind of.
Like his face at
He's
least.
ugly for an orc.
But then looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
It's pretty good.
How does he know what a menu is?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, anyway, So then, he gets hit by a car and he just explodes. Like he's a bag made of liquid.
Turns into a pink mist.
Ew. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and his head bounces. His head stays intact and just rolls off the roof of the car.
I have here Lewis gets him. Lewis gets the guy in the tower.
So Lewis gets shot. And
she's pretty much really mortally injured.
Yeah, she falls down this hill, and the RoboCop is like, "Not so fast!" And he's walking through this thing.
Just rises from the muck.
Meanwhile, this guy is up in this tower controlling this crane full of steel, and he's gonna
drops a bunch of rods
so
onto
Lewis
RoboCop.
Is like, crawling over because RoboCop is facing Red and is about to take him out, and Lewis he drops the metal. And then on RoboCop, and RoboCop's pinned down. Lewis shoots the guy in the tower. And
It blows up.
Yeah, so Red is trying to... He blows him up. She blows him up.
No, I just thought I heard the baby, but I don't think so.
So then Red is trying to beat RoboCop to death with a pipe or whatever.
And he was screaming, and I said, does RoboCop feel pain?
He gets stabbed in the shoulder.
Does he feel pain?
I don't know.
Very confusing.
Yeah.
Anyway, and
How
so
does
then...
Red die? Does he die?
He might just get taken in. I don't remember. No, he dies. He dies because he's like trying to stab RoboCop, and then RoboCop like fights back and gets him, I think.
Okay,
stabs him, I think. Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And then they're in this weird like pond, and he just kind of falls down.
Yeah.
And I think he just dies.
Whack.
I wasn't really paying attention to that though, because for some reason that wasn't like the main part of this.
Yeah, I don't really remember what happens to Red.
He was like, Lewis, are you okay? And she's like, I'm a mess. And he's like, they'll fix it. They fix everything.
And now he's strong enough to get the steel off of him.
Right.
Presumably.
Right. And then he pulls up to, I guess, back to Dick Jones's.
Back to Dick Jones's place.
And the like Ed 209 is out front. And
Yeah.
then I made a note because they were like, it's always 20 seconds. He's like, you're parked illegally. You have 20 seconds to move the vehicle or whatever. Yeah. That's not enough time to do anything. You're setting him up for failure.
Maybe to start.
To drop a weapon,
maybe
yes.
Ed 209
but...
can recognize you're getting in your car and moving it or something.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah,
Either way.
So he blows up the Ed 209 with the one of those cannon things that he got off the,
the assault cannon.
Yeah. And by the way, when it shows like RoboCop looking back as he's walking into OCP, and you see legs, and you're like, oh no, is it another Ed 209?
Right. But it's just the steaming pile of legs. Yes.
Of a malfunction. Ed 209s are funny.
It is funny. It's definitely some comic relief.
Yeah. So he
Not
gets
that this
he
is
gets
a
up to the
serious
office,
movie, but...
and he uses his USB thing covered in blood.
Yeah, Red's blood. That's
Yeah.
right. He stabs Red with that.
He stabs him with a stick.
That's
with
right.
a USB stick. That's right. That's right. Okay.
So he dies.
Yeah.
And then he shows up at this building because he's like, no, fuck, I'm going to get Jones. Like, fuck this guy.
So he uploads it in the conference room setting, and he exposes him. So
then number one is like, what?
Yeah,
the number
he's
one
like,
of the
"Oh."
company. He's like, oh my dear Lord.
Dick Jones takes the CEO
hostage.
And because of Directive 4, RoboCop
he can't do anything.
So the guy says, Dick, you're fired.
And RoboCop's like, thank you.
Yeah, and then Directive 4 just goes from his vision and just wipes away. So then he shoots him, and he shoots him or something, and he falls out the window.
Yeah.
How funny is that?
Oh, it looks so bad.
Why are his arms 30 feet long?
Yeah,
because it's a claymation version of a man.
Yeah, they for sure used
falling.
Yes, the stop motion to get it.
God.
And I wondered if that scene was maybe one of the original times that happened, because you know how you see in like so many movies people falling from high buildings, and it shows that perspective. Even in like Die Hard.
Die Hard does it way better.
Does it start in Die Hard or does it start in this? Because Die Hard is older than this movie, I think. Because this is 87. I think Die Hard is earlier than that, but I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not sure.
We'll do Die Hard later because we're going to have guests on the show and stuff. And so we'll address it then maybe. But I thought maybe that this was what gets parodied. That it started here.
I don't know.
At least
it's a very iconic scene that is all over the place.
At least maybe when it's like when it's like the terrible rendering of the guy falling. Maybe that's what gets parodied.
This is unbelievable. His arms
they just become very long.
I
think it's supposed to look like he is kind of in sitting position, like his butt is down and he's falling kind of.
Oh.
So it's supposed to give you a look of perspective, but it just looks terrible.
Yeah.
It just looks terrible.
So then he falls, and then he says some kind of line or something. It ends very abruptly after that.
I thought it was well rounded.
He says something, and then it's like, that's
he says good shooting.
Oh
officer.
Yeah, he says good shooting officer. What's your name? And he goes
Murphy. Doesn't he?
No, he says Robocop.
Oh, you're right.
He should have said Murphy.
No, there was at some point where he says Murphy.
No,
he
you're right.
Acknowledges
he says Murphy.
who he is, And that's why I was like, oh, this shit is well-rounded.
I think you're right. I think he does say Murphy.
Let us know if we're wrong.
Yeah,
Just watched this last night.
God damn it.
Oh,
well, that's the problem with waiting a whole night.
I know. But like, so Wolfgang has been like sleep regressing lately, so it's been hard for us to find like time to. It's very time consuming to watch a whole entire movie
and then do
Jesus, like an hour and a half long podcast.
Oh my god!
I can't believe this one is longer than Scarface because this movie was not long.
That's not good. We're not getting better at this. We're getting worse.
But that's the whole movie.
The problem is we get so into it in the beginning. We write pages of notes for the very beginning.
I had 5 pages of notes for this hour and a half long movie.
Yeah, because and then as the movie goes on, we start to watch the movie more and we write less notes. So
yeah,
sorry guys.
Okay, but that's the movie. That's it. Okay,
bye.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, bye.
All right. So then, what did you think? What are your takeaways?
I fucking love this movie. I love this movie. Do
you think it lives up to the hype?
I think it way exceeds it.
I think it lives up to the hype.
I think it blows it out of the water, all of the hype out of the water. I think this movie is. I think this movie makes me think that the '80s were the best time
for movies.
For movies,
action.
Period. For action, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm gonna make preemptively the argument that it also is the best time period for like high school movies. But
okay,
I don't watch them anymore, so I don't know how the recent ones are.
It's such a huge swing. It's out of nowhere. It's not based off of anything.
It's honestly, it's a really fun movie.
I can taste the cocaine that these guys were doing as they were writing the movie.
We do a lot of cocaine movies.
Oh yeah,
2 out
there's
of 3.
A lot of cocaine. It's the '80s, man.
I'm getting this like picture of how the '80s was based on these movies that we're watching.
By the way, we're not just doing old movies.
No,
I think that's something that we need to.
The thing is, like most of the really most iconic movies that we haven't seen,
they've become iconic because they've stood the test of time.
Exactly.
So that's how they have.
So we have like this list that we made, and most of them are before '95, I would say.
But we'll try to do some more recent ones.
Yeah.
Maybe even some big movies that are in theaters that we know everybody's going to see. Maybe we'll try to cover
Could
those.
be fun. But I would, back to Robocop, I think that I think it lives up to the hype. I think it's a really fun movie. I would say if you are one of those weirdos that still has cable and you see that it's on, watch it.
Yeah.
But I don't think you have to see it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely really fun if you do watch it.
Yeah.
And I would give it, how many Sour Patch Kids did I give Heathers?
Are we sticking with Sour Patch Kids?
We don't have to. I like it. Having a rating system, I like.
Okay, I agree. We need a rating system, but let's do because it's about.
Why don't we just every time do a different movie theater candy?
How about like pellets?
Like of shit?
Okay, not pellets.
How many pieces of shit was this movie?
Okay, how many times will you spin your pistol?
We're just gonna make up a new thing every movie.
Every movie.
Okay, at least 4. But I'm thinking. Okay, I would do 3 out of 5.
Out of 100.
3 out of 5.
Out of 100.
It's like
100 is a better scale.
57 times.
Okay,
I would be spinning my pistol for so long.
All right, let's stick to 5. Yeah. How many spins?
I would say 3. 3 to 4 out of 5.
I go 4.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why I want to do 100 because.
No. Because if you're doing pistol spins, that should have more weight than like a Sour Patch Kid. That's why that's out of 10, but this is only out of 5. Because think of a whole entire spin of a pistol that lasts so long.
Who cares? I'm a
just
robot.
Saying, I'm not going to be spinning my pistol for an hour.
I would for this movie.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah, I would spin my pistol for an hour. This movie is awesome.
Now I feel like I will get a lot of references to Robocop, so I'm glad that I watched it.
Yeah. All right. I think we got it all. Jesus, this ran way too long.
If you made it this long.
Yeah, no one's listening.
We love you. Yeah, we're just talking to ourselves now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening, and we I guess we'll catch up with you next week.
Don't forget to look for the Instagram to see what
That's
movie
right.
we're
on
gonna do
Instagram,
next.
and we're now available on Spotify, YouTube. If you look on YouTube, search for our acronym, which is SHTMLF.
Without the eyes.
Right.
Yeah.
SHTMLF.
An eyeless shit milf.
That's right. Just like us. And then we're also on iTunes. Please rate and stuff and leave us a review if you feel so inclined.
All right.
And subscribe and all that.
And that's it for Say Hello
Say
to My
hello
Little
to
Phone.
my little film. Goodbye.
And have a beautiful life.
Bye-bye.
Bye.